So people in the comments and news outlets online were saying that due to the fact the original video was so zoomed in, it made it appear like it was crawling up. So I decided to show the full TV and went back to the DVR. You tell me what you think. Now I won't zoom here, I'll just get closer to the TV so you can see. Look, it's going right up.
It's really broken.
Open the door. This is my neighborhood. Open the fucking door.
I found his social media and it's strange too. If you've seen this viral video of the guy banging on someone's door yelling, "Where is your daughter?" I have an update. The man in that video has now been identified as 29-year-old Jason Thomas Nichols out of Fairfield, California. He was arrested and taken into custody and booked at the Justice Center detention facility. He's facing several serious felony charges. As of tonight, he's still in jail. His next court date is scheduled for April 13th. But here's the thing. There's still no clear information about why he was yelling for that man's daughter in the first place. The girl who posted this video said this is not her house. After his name was released, I did some digging and I found what appears to be his FB. It's really strange. There's basically no activity for 10 years. And then suddenly, this past December, he posted again. The photo shows him with who appears to be his father and grandfather.
Oh my days. Oh my diddy. These are not statues, brother. These are petrified people. Oh, you son of a bitch. So let me see if I got this straight. You're trying to tell me a man 600 years ago used a hammer and chisel for 2 weeks and he chiseled a skeleton? Come on, brother. That don't make sense. So the arm fell off and for some reason there's a skeleton type. I don't even know what that's meant to be. But how can that be inside the solid marble? You told me it was solid marble, brother. That a man used a hammer and chisel for 2 weeks. Yeah, Leonardo, Michelangelo, one of them, man, Donatello, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. How could he have chiseled that inside? And why? You only can see it if it breaks. Brother, that looks like a skeleton.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to have a very interesting video. As you could tell, I've been having like some nostalgia and just some like missing of theme park life. I am definitely a thrill seeker. I love theme parks. I just don't do Ferris wheels. I don't. Oh, and I don't like the drops. The one that you go all the way up and you stop and you drop. I don't like that. But anything else, you catch me flipping, roller coaster. I love it. So I just was having nostalgia and missing theme parks. And so I was like, why not make it a theme park theme video? So we have a lot to go over today, a long video. I've been kind of like sleepy. Well, really no, just probably like tired. But I think I'll be having a lot going on in my life. So I'm always on the go. And sometimes I don't make enough time to rest. So my body will sometimes make me rest. And that just is what it is. So I'm not going to hold you. Go get whatever you need to chill with me. Now let's get to the content. So let's go. Mwah.
Poor fella. Some people just can't let go of their own anxieties and obsessions, leaving them lost and disconnected from life, and this is the result.
Make a trade?
Looks like you're a hedge fund manager.
Now, connect to your earthly body.
That's me. Thank you.
Did you notice how that cartoon exposed how powerful music is on the astral body? At the beginning of the cartoon, they're inside the astral plane, which is a spiritual realm sitting above the physical. Then they see the lost soul. The lost soul is surrounded in a black and grey aura. Then they started to play high vibrational music, and the black and grey aura dissolved. His thoughts, his anxieties, his obsessions were dissolved. Then the soul was revealed. Then the soul jumped back into his physical body and he started to express life, joy and love. He started to be his true self, freed from all mental attachments. Music is a very powerful way, especially high vibrational music like reggae, is a very powerful way to connect with your true self and dissolve all the illusions of the mind.
I was saying, this is my coconut. I found these at Sam's. I'm gonna put a picture right here, really quick, of what it is. Oh my God. My kids eat them like crazy. And I wanted a coconut one today. So, but back to this. I'll put it in my mouth too while I was about to talk. So I love the movie Soul. If you haven't seen Soul on Disney Plus, go watch it. It's amazing. But I completely agree. And music, I love music. Music can, there's music that can take you to a negative place, and there's also music that take you to a positive place. But music, I feel, is very important, and it is a gateway and it's a portal. And I like to channel with music. Oh, speaking of music, Gabby's I realize she's like Claire Audio, so she'll just randomly sing a song, and it'll be like something I may have had in my personal time. And I'm like, what made you sing that song? You was nowhere to be found. She's like, it just came to my head, and I was like, look at you. Look at you with your little psychic ability. This is my girl. Well, let's keep going.
I told y'all, Pooh Shiesty robbed Gucci Mane to get out that contract. The rap contract. Let me break this down for y'all. See, this is how it all went down. January 10th, Dallas, Texas studio. Pooh Shiesty pulls up with his crew like it's all business. They there to talk about contracts, right? So you see Gucci Mane and his industry folk, they're all in the studio thinking this is just business too, as usual. Next thing you know, boom, guns out. They 9 deep. They take over the whole studio. So Pooh Shiesty allegedly got the strap to somebody's dome, and he telling them, if you don't sign these papers, I'ma boom your ass. He said everybody looking frozen, like, what's going on, fool? But not Pooh Shiesty and them, not the people he rode with, except for his father. Pooh Shiesty's father looking like, damn. I tried to talk him out of it, but he just didn't want to listen to me. That's how they say he was shaking his head. They said Big 30 got his strap too, but he watching the door, making sure nobody go in or out. They said one of the victims was moving a little too much, so he was getting choked out from the beginning. They said he was getting choked so much he almost passed out. Pooh Shiesty and them wasn't done after they made that man sign a contract. The contract signed, Next thing you know, they up in the blicky, Give me that watch, Give me that ring, Give me that chain. Everything must go. Gucci Mane just sitting there like, I got you on the flip side. He didn't say it, but he was thinking it though. Shiesty and all his men holding that gunpoint, backing up. Nobody better not move until we gone. They slammed the door open, bow. They gone, fool. Everything they took, they got it with them. Fast forward to now, he didn't think he was gonna get locked up for this shit. Word in the street is, Gucci Mane is snitching. Allegedly. Because Pooh Shiesty, the men he came with, Big 30, and Pooh Shiesty father, all arrested. And people trying to figure out, okay, you can see Pooh Shiesty, his father, Big 30, but how they know the names of all the other people? Is Gucci Mane snitching? Is somebody on his cam snitching? Somebody snitching. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments. And if you like that commentary style, let me know down below in the comments too.
What y'all think? First of all, I think that was an emotional move, because if you think about it, it could have been anybody. It could be somebody that owned the studio, because they rent out studios. You don't know who could have been, but I mean, shoot, quiet as kept. It could have been Gucci. We'll see. But allegedly.
Drinking water from Lake Lanier, one of the most haunted lakes in Georgia. Let's talk about it, because the citizens of the metro Atlanta area is over it. So if you're not familiar with Lake Lanier, you need to go look it up, because this was a thriving black community that they called the next Black Wall Street. They had racetracks, they had churches, businesses, farmland. It was amazing, and it was a predominantly black town called Oscarville until the 1950s, when the U.S. Army Corps decided, hey, let's just flood this black city, not take up any of the remains, the graveyards, the people's homes, or hey, not even let some of the people know that we're going to be flooding their city in a few days. Yeah, for drinking water for the people of the metro Atlanta area. And the people are basically saying that the water has a foul-smelling odor. It's thick. It tastes like mildew. They say it is awful. Probably because it looked like this under that lake that y'all are drinking from. Yeah, there's literally remains, hundreds of remains. Hundreds of people have died over the years in freak accidents on this very lake. And this is what y'all are using to bathe in and to drink in. Yeah. Now they're basically trying to say it's some logic to behind why, it has this bad taste now, or what's really going on. It has nothing to do with, the families that's still under that lake. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It actually has everything to do with it. Now, like I said, over the years, there has been several freak accidents on this lake. So many people go missing, and it's just very, very weird conspiracies about this lake. But we all know the real reason of what's going on. This is trauma. This is people's bodies. This is just everything under the sun. I'm surprised this water haven't been giving y'all an issue. But let me know how y'all feel about this whole thing, because this is just crazy, and it doesn't catch me by surprise that people are complaining about it.
First of all, I would not want to drinking water from that lake. And it used to be called Oscarville. And it's Oscarville, Georgia, before it became Lake Lanier. It was an all-black thriving town. And the white people went ahead and killed off the town and made it a lake, which is a lot of the lakes and the parks and stuff that we have around that we go to.
Police in California have given an update on this whole situation, where they said that the homeowner's husband, who was away at the time, observed through a security camera a man standing at his front door doing this while his wife and daughter were inside, so he immediately returned to the residence. The suspect was identified as 30-year-old Jason Nichols, who kept asking about the homeowner's daughter and wanting to see her, then started making threats, tried to break in, and eventually got inside. But not long after, the husband returned with a shovel. A fight broke out between the two, and the man was eventually arrested. His bail was then set at $35,000, and his next court date is tomorrow. Now, one thing people notice is that he identified himself in the video as Harry Dresden, and he was dressed like him too. Now, Dresden is a fictional character who is a wizard and private investigator that solves crimes, and some people think that he really thought that he was him. But others think that he knew something that we don't, and he was genuinely trying to protect their daughter, but just went about it the completely wrong way. Hopefully we get some more information in the next few days, but let me know what you guys think about this and what you would do in this situation, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
What the heck?
Let me show you that detail. Now, these are like small apartment complexes. This can probably hold anywhere from 50 to 100 people per little carousel. Look at this. You're talking, if each one just held 100, and let's say there's about 30 of them, we'll say, yeah, times 10 times 10, you're looking at 1,000, you're looking at about 3,000. You're looking at maybe anywhere from, let's say, 3,000 to 10,000 people riding around on a Ferris wheel and holding all of them up. And you start to sit there and think, wait a minute, what? 10,000 people riding on a Ferris wheel? Think of the energy it would take in order to move 10,000 people. When you go to Six Flags, they have like, I don't know, we'll say 100 people on the roller coaster, and they got tons of energy popping with that thing. And as people are saying, those were magnetic carousels. And yes, they were. When you get into the details and you learn about these things, this was on magnetics. This was not on the system we currently use. So you could use a lot of energy, and it's really easy to do. But it's just fascinating because, I mean, look at the size of that thing. And just to think, like, each one is like an apartment complex of like 20 to 30 people just rotating around the entire time. And there's those steeples again. And look at how large that is. Look at how large the Ferris wheel is compared to the building. And then you got the cute little chairs right here, which this is temporary. These little chairs are temporary. That's probably what they put in there to take the picture. But this Ferris wheel, definitely not temporary. The line to board it, and there's a view from the inside so you guys can see. You gotta see this. So here's the line. Everybody's getting all excited. Maybe 10,000 people getting excited to go up on the Ferris wheel. And there's the view, if you guys can see that. Look at all those people. See them all lined up like ducks? That's a lot of people. Every single carousel. So we're in 1893. We have better roller coasters than 2023, and you can hold maybe 5 to 10,000 people on the roller coaster. When in reality, I get to go stand in line and I got to buy a boarding pass and maybe pay extra to get on the thing faster, and then it's going to put me on for 1 second and then kind of kick me off. But that's kind of what it is. You also have some hot air balloons in case you want to take that. Looks a little dangerous, and some ostriches, which I thought was interesting too. I have no idea about hearing about ostriches in Chicago. That's for sure. If there were ostriches, that's pretty dope. And then more Ferris wheels and stunning photos. So these are tickets. These were tickets. So you can have your ticket, and this is what was on it, and you take your little cute boat ride, and it says a view from the Island Bridge World Fair, Transportation Building of Columbia Exposition, and then this is, again, your Ferris wheel. Absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. So then we continue onwards, because I want to show you guys, they had fireworks, too, somehow.
It's crazy how they say that the World Fair was only up for like, what, a week? They did all of that. And to build that stable to hold all those people for something that was like not, we have to get more to the world, the 1800s, the World Fairs around that time in the 1800s, the late 1800s. But I would have had a mental breakdown and all kind of breakdowns on that roller coaster. First of all, I wouldn't have got on it. I don't like roller coasters because I don't like steel heights to where that's why I don't ride water rides either, and I don't feel like you have protection. But steel heights where I'm like stuck up there, oh my gosh, y'all, the level of fear that swell up in my bones, nah.
What's that? Oh, people are figuring out that sculptures from long ago are actually petrified humans? Tell me more! Yeah, many of these sculptures have had things happen, such as arms getting broken off and things like that, and they're seeing inside of those arms where there's actual bone fragments in there. Okay. Oh, but this gets even crazier because they've actually had arteries with inside of these sculptures rupture and leak out into the petrified matter. So sometimes they actually have to remove the legs and arms from these sculptures just because of that reason. Oh, fun! This reminds me of a few things recently. The Balenciaga mannequin, which underneath where it's peeling looks like human. What? And then these certain files that were released recently had what looks to be like little petrified humans by the legs of a table. Okay.
What y'all think in the comments? First of all, that roller coaster thing, a bird flying on me on a roller coaster would have really took all my joy from roller coasters out for life. And that tilt-a-whirl thing where that man was going around, I don't ride that either because of my injury when I was in the 6th grade. But that was funny.
Did you know that this ride at Universal Studios Orlando used to smell like rotting fruit and 30 tons of wet fur? Welcome to Universal Unlocked, where we dust off the archives to explore the history and nostalgia of the world's greatest movie park. Today we're heading back to the 90s to face the original king of New York, Confrontation. So before the Mummy took over what is now the Museum of Antiquities building, this was actually home to one of the most massive animatronics ever built. And that animatronic was, of course, King Kong himself, as seen here in the Confrontation ride. So basically you would board this aerial tram that was pretty much a replica of the Roosevelt Island tram, and it would take you all around the chaos of New York City. And the highlight, of course, was not just one, but 2 massive King Kong animatronics that would lunge towards your tram. It was terrifying, it was immersive, but most of all, it was surprisingly smelly. So Universal actually used something called smellitizers to pump a very specific scent into the air. And that was hot, artificial banana breath. Ew. It was just meant to elevate the experience and also make Kong himself feel like a living, breathing animal. Unfortunately, though, this ride was a mechanical nightmare. Keeping 2 of the world's largest animatronics synchronized and moving every 2 minutes meant that the ride was very frequently delayed. And this unfortunately eventually led to its closure in 2002. But the good news is that there is still a piece of Kong today that lives in the very same building. Next time you ride the Mummy, pay very close attention in the treasure room scene. Because in here on the left-hand side, you will actually see this small golden statue of Kong himself. This is an incredible permanent tribute to the beast that used to rule the building. All in all, Confrontation represents a lost era of massive animatronics that CGI just really can't replicate. Do you miss the banana breath and the giant animatronics that were seen in this ride? Or do you prefer the Mummy as it is now? Let us know down in the comments. I, for one, would love to see Confrontation make a return. I think it's probably one of my favorite defunct rides that I would absolutely love to see come back to the parks. And of course, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that follow button because we have a ton more Universal history and nostalgia coming your way.
I love Universal Studios, and I'm excited to, well, I don't know when I'm going back, but I'm working on trying to go back so I can go to Epic Universe and go ahead and do a video out there. But I will say the Mummy ride that replaced I'm about to say Earthquake. Y'all remember Earthquake ride at Universal Studios back in the gap? But the Mummy ride actually goes hard. I like the Mummy ride, but I also did like the Kong ride. And then those smellitizers, Disney uses those a lot on Main Street USA. So if you on if you on Main Street USA and you smell like food, like churros or like freshly baked this, it's smellitizers to get you to buy stuff. They use that. But I love those, even though there's a lot of occultic stuff in there and I can have a lot of content from going there. I'm a thrill seeker in that aspect and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I like that.
Y'all can say what y'all want, but these ascension symptoms got me feeling like Mother Earth is trying to take me out of the game. And at this point, I don't even know if the transition from the 3D to the 5D is even worth it. Say what y'all want, but at this point, I'm just ready to tap out. I can take a day or 2 of this, but a few days, a lot, no, it's too much. And I know y'all feeling it as well. The pressure and the headache in the crown of my head, out of this world. The pressure in my third eye, a little bit too much. I know y'all can hear my voice, right? The throat chakra, it is about to take me out. I've been drinking tea like it's nobody business. The ringing in the ear got me feeling like somebody is calling me from a whole nother dimension, baby. Not to mention the joint pain. If you have any old injuries like I do, I had broke my ankle in September, baby. It feel like it just happened all over again. The back pain, the exhaustion. No matter how many naps I take, no matter how much I sleep, y'all, I am still exhausted. And I know you can hear it in my voice and you can literally see it all over my face, all right? Appetite is gone. I can't even smell food without feeling nauseous, okay? Y'all, I literally been eating salad for the last 7 days. I feel like a freaking rabbit at this point. I don't know how y'all feeling, but I just told y'all how the hell I'm feeling. And I'm telling y'all right now, I quit. This is too much. I can stay low vibrational. I can stay in the 3D because, baby, maybe the 5D ain't for me. This is a bit much.
I'm serious because like I had said in my live, I've been so exhausted. I mean, like ridiculously exhausted. And at night I sleep. I mean, during the day I don't take naps. I'm not really a nap person, but I've literally been wanting to take a nap, and that's not even like me. So it's like, but everybody's ascension symptoms can be different. It is like I was talking to my sister earlier, then we're gonna go to the next one, and I told her, I said, I feel like it be the stuff that you don't like that your body do. Like for me, I don't like to be overly sleepy and like exhausted, or my stomach to hurt, like certain things on my head. It be the things you don't like that be your symptoms. Like you get over this right now while you going through this, you ascend it. Keep going, keep going.
Are y'all truly ready for this deep dive? Because it goes back decades. Didn't I just tell you last week that Apollo, Apollyon, Abaddon, Helios, Lucifer was coming back through the arch he's making? What do you know? They're the same exact being. Hey, you remember when Marina Abramovich came out and said that Donald Trump was the highest ranking warlock in the world, basically? More on that in a second. So of course, posted himself as Jesus. He admitted it himself earlier today, but in the same image, he added something from the last time this was posted, and now it's this creature, this thing right here. That's Apollo. Yes, in fact, the same exact deity that's on the arch. Some could call him Helios. Remember, Nero Caesar in the 1st century destroyed all the Christians there was, and he transformed into Apollo himself. He also had a mortal wound to the head by sword. Y'all remember when Trump did not put his hand on the Bible? That was crazy. You know the parable of the goats and the sheep from the Bible, when the goats go to hell and the sheep go to heaven? We had this golden goat made for Trump with golden feet, golden horns. On the dollar bills it says, "In Trump we trust." Y'all think this is the first time he put his name in the place of God? It's not. Of course, he made himself to be the Pope, and this is the second time he posted his image of him being Jesus. The red vesture because it's dipped in blood like Revelation, for it's Jesus, the Alpha and the Omega. It's also odd because, inversion from the occult, of course we see the magician wearing red, and that same exact thing that Trump was wearing too. Again, Satan loves inversions. Marina Abramovich said that Trump was putting a spell on the entire world. Read this real quick. If Trump did something to my daughters, I would forgive him because Jesus calls me to forgive. True, but watch this. It'd be the holiest act of love I could ever choose, but I would still politically support him as my president. Yes. Brother, what? After he violated your daughter? Hold on. Now check this out. After he posted himself as Jesus, he posted Trump Tower. The Trump Tower is pretty significant itself on top of the moon. I've been telling y'all for years he's the moon child, was born right under the blood moon. The same one that Aleister Crowley started the rituals, I believe, in the 20s, going to the Babylon working in the 40s. Let me refresh your memory. The moon child will rule by liberty, and by liberty he will destroy the Black Brotherhood. The Black Brotherhood to these demons is Christianity. He just happens to have the word of peace when they say peace and safety is strong parallel. He's signing Bibles not just now, but in 2019 as well. This was a real picture published in the Time magazine, which, by the way, people are like, oh, he fell for the AI image. Of course it's an AI image. Who has to freaking tell you it's an AI image if it's a cartoon? And for some reason, people have been seeing this beast, this Apollo, this Helios, this Abaddon, this Apollyon, this Lucifer, this Lightbringer in their dreams. If you've been watching me the last few years and you're caught up, you know what I'm saying. I've been warning about all this stuff for years. If you're confused, the YT video is about to go up, and it goes a lot deeper, especially in the Trump Tower and the 666 Fifth Avenue. All you gotta do is search Real Moon Henry. But of course, don't mind me, shoot the messenger.
To the Real Moon Henry, he be on point. So go follow him if you don't. But I pulled two tarot cards so you guys can see that it was. And I think I said in my video that dedicated to Trump, is Trump the last president? Marina Abramovich said he's the magician. He is the MAGA. The MAGA is like the magician. Here's the one card of the magician. That's the one that he showed you guys. This is the magician. And then this is another one from another deck. But it's still the same outfit. So, and I wanted to show you that, yeah, it is. But the magician of what? Because well, not everybody possess all 4 elemental tools, but you can use it. Some people do. And when you have it, you have an option to use it for good or bad or evil, good or evil. What you gonna do with it?
Everything changed when I stopped looking at the symbols on the dollar bill as what it is and start saying, who put it there and why did they put all of these type of symbols on the dollar bill? Was there some hidden message for us, or was that some mark of territory for them? Let's get into it. So today, even though there's a lot more on this dollar bill, I'm going to go through 10 of these hidden symbols, which there's probably 50 of them. So we'll do more videos in the future. It just depends on you. If in the comments you tell me to keep going, I'll show you more. And when we get to the front, I will then show you why we're moving to cryptocurrency, and they had already told us in this dollar bill that the money was coming to an end. So as you can see, we have 10 different areas that I'm pointing to with these arrows, and I'm going to go through each one of these individually, starting with number 1. This was where number 1 is. This says Novus Ordo Seclorum. This have a hidden meaning, and let me tell you what it is. This is Latin, and it stands for the new order of ages is born. And literally what this really means is they're saying that this is a new world order. And they say it right up front, right in our faces, so we know where the world is going. But they claimed it right here when they first did this one. So let's move over to number 2. So we're going to point right here to where number 2 went, okay? And this is number 2 out of the 10, which is actually these 2 words together. These 2 words is anut copious. And what this means is he has favored our undertakings. He has favored our that's anut copious. You can go look this up in dictionary.com as well, so you can find the hidden meanings in what this means. And we'll put it all together at the end. Next, we'll get into what I call number 3, which I pointed here, but it's really going to be the entire pyramid itself. Now, in the beginning, type of symbols was just a position of authority until I start studying the geometry and the hidden meanings of all of these particular parts.
And we're going to keep going through this in each video, so keep up.
Why does Pennywise fear the Shining ability? It doesn't realize the Shining can almost destroy it. When Dick Halloran uses the Shining to locate Pennywise, the clown doesn't attack immediately. Instead, it asks, "Who are you?" This is highly unusual for the arrogant creature, signaling that for the first time it feels threatened because the Shining can transcend space and time, directly perceiving its existence. Though Halloran's Shining ability can currently read minds and communicate telepathically with other Shiners, its potential goes much further. The Shining abilities of Danny and Abra are even stronger. In Dr. Sleep, Danny uses the Shining to comfort dying patients, while Abra can even astrally project and deceive the true Knot. Her psychic powers are immense, representing the almost unlimited potential of the Shining. At its core, the Shining combines telepathy and precognition, capable of influencing reality and controlling fear. This makes it one of the few forces that can truly threaten Pennywise. Looking back, Pennywise terrorized victims for years before the Losers Club formed, and most of those it tormented lacked the Shining. But when Beverly and Bill appeared, the clown's control over fear started to break. Perhaps this is the true reason Pennywise fears it. Fear can consume humans, but the Shining can see through fear itself. Why does Pennywise show its true deadlights only to Ingrid and Will? First, Ingrid. Right before Pennywise goes into hibernation, it blasts her with the deadlights and lifts her into the air, but she survives. That alone shows it held back and intentionally left her alive. Will is the same. When Pennywise breaks into his house, it releases the deadlights, but still doesn't kill him. Will later grows up and becomes Mike Hanlon's father, which proves Pennywise spared him on purpose. So why only these two? The real reason is in how the deadlights work. In the novel, the deadlights aren't just a kill shot. They can break your mind, erase your sanity, or turn you into a puppet. Henry Bowers becomes Pennywise's tool after getting hit. Audra falls into a coma. Beverly suffers long-term trauma. That means blasting Ingrid with the deadlights wasn't to kill her. It was because she still had use. She could help him influence children and spread fear. And since Pennywise was already running out of energy before hibernation, the deadlights weren't strong enough to kill her anyway. As for Will, his role is closer to Beverly's. Pennywise needed him as bait, someone whose fear and disappearance would pull others into the sewers so it could feed on more victims. In other words, they weren't lucky. They were deliberately spared because Pennywise planned to use them. Why was early Pennywise trapped in the woods? When young Francis was chased by a skeleton-like creature formed by Pennywise, Rose hit it with her slingshot and helped him escape. Strangely, Pennywise never crossed the edge of the woods. Rose even said,
It doesn't leave the woods.
so what force kept it confined there? In fact, it all ties back to the ancient ritual of Chud, once performed by the Shakapua tribe. The ritual was a spiritual battle where the tribe confronted the embodiment of fear, Pennywise, through a mental duel. When Pennywise first crashed into the woods, its power wasn't yet complete, and the ritual's seal temporarily trapped it, preventing it from leaving the forest. Years later, the U.S. military discovered Pennywise and tried to weaponize it during the Cold War. Their excavation of tribal relics accidentally broke the seal, restoring Pennywise's power and allowing it to spread from the woods into Derry. Feeding on fear and illusions, it became unstoppable, and the ritual could no longer contain it. In it, Chapter 2, Mike returns to learn the ritual again and leads the Losers Club to face their fears. Eddie's silver weapon weakens Pennywise, finally ending its reign of terror.
Y'all go see Welcome to Derry, and I'm gonna actually watch one of these days when I have some time. The one, was it part 2? I don't know. I don't remember. But funny story really quick before I go to the next one. I remember watching it when I was young with my cousin, and we were so scared that we made a song about it and how we wasn't gonna mess around and we was gonna get him. I'm not gonna sing the song, but that's the funny part. And when they had Blockbuster, we went to Blockbuster with my great aunt, and we walked and we took the bus. Yep, the good old RTA to Blockbuster when it was on Allegiance Field. Got it, went home and watched it in the VCR and was scared as hell. Now I can watch it and I think it's interesting.
Listen, today I found something that I'm going to go over with you in a minute. It's not a theory. It's not a rumor. It's a peer review of reptilian contact, okay? Reptilian contact on this planet that was found here in Africa, okay? It was a cave 70,000 years ago in the Botswana, Africa. Now, this is going to blow a lot of people away because it's going to tap into religion. This is Python Mountain. This is the oldest, make no mistake about it, this is the oldest ritual site on Earth, all right, on Earth. That should tell you enough right there. Think about that for a minute. It's the oldest ritual site on Earth. We're talking way before the Romans, well before the Anunnaki or Egyptian, and well before anything that any type of religion was started. In fact, this is how they actually worship. We're talking about they had a shaman chamber. There was a shaman chamber here within this cave, which back in there, all right, we're talking about a shaman chamber. Now, once I start going into this, I was like thinking about the Wizard of Oz, right? Shaman voice was voice. All right. Was the voice of God. Right now is what we deal with today is, and follow me along right here. This is the system. This is the system. Make no mistake about it. This is the system. Credo mutua, all right? Where the Pope speaks from is in the serpent mouth. That's kind of weird, right? The Pope, and I should have put this picture up for you. In fact, I'll put it up right now for you. The same serpent hall picture that I showed you in the beginning of them speaking in a serpent, it just come to me while I'm giving you this part. The Vatican do the same thing. They speak from the serpent mouth. Isn't that kind of coincidence for you that the Vatican speaks from the serpent mouth, and back then in Python Mountain, they spoke from the serpent mouth? That's pretty interesting, and I'm glad we make that discovery together. It just come together, and that's what's happening here. So I just want to kind of leave you with that information.
Y'all tell me what y'all think. I like his lectures, and I'm gonna start using him a lot more in my videos.
Nah, I don't like fighting. Fighting is like barbaric and...
So you don't like watching fights?
No, fighting is for literal, like, low IQ barbarians. Like, why would you fight? That's such an outdated concept.
Clavicular overdosed. That's the reports that's being reported right now. They saying he got rushed to the hospital on an apparent overdose. After this video, they say fans was concerned because he wasn't right.
10.6 thousand.
Tell you of something.
10.6 thousand. Tweak maxing.
Part of that powder.
Yeah, I'm feeling great right now. Holy fuck. Bro's always
I'm hearing he already doing shit to his face and shit.
Holy no.
So he doing a powder.
What are you talking about? Good. Let's keep going. Busy.
But this ain't the only time I thought this man was off. When he was on that 60 Minutes, it was a brief moment where he looked like he got scared, like he was about to pass out. You can see it on this video right here.
Teach you about Looks Max and then maybe you
right there.
Switch that up. But thanks for the time. Appreciate the interview.
It was that little brief moment where he just paused and then he did the little, like, damn, am I about to pass out?
So boxing is low IQ or fighting is low IQ, but getting high on live and almost dying and ODing is high IQ. Man, get the fuck. The sad part about it is that kids watch his content and they follow him. I'd rather fight in the ring than an OD.
And you're feeding off of her. So the woman was the original protector. She was called the Sa, which was the protector. The woman was a protector before the male. So you were protected inside of the room, and they took the protection story to create the Jesus story. So the woman kept you safe inside the room. It was called the Het Heru, the house of Heru. And the women kept you safe, and you were surrounded by female energy, which is why men like to have a lot of women around them. From the time that you're in a room, every direction that you look in, you're surrounded by a woman. The woman is your safety, and you're connected to her by your umbilical cord, and you're feeding off of her. So you're getting nothing but female energy for 9 months. You're connected to the woman, and you start off as a woman. So every man here has been a woman. The woman actually is what produces the male genitalia. So then the woman keeps you safe, and then she delivers you. She delivers you. When you come out, you're soaked in blood. The sex goddess, one of the sex goddesses was called Sin Inanna. Inanna Sin, the moon goddess. She was named after her father. The woman was the savior. And then when she laid down, she became the deliverer. And she delivered you out of sin. Right? So the sin, that's cold. And then you're washed in the blood. You come out, you're safe. She's your savior. She's your deliverer, and then you're delivered and you're washed in the blood. And she sheds her blood for you every month. The word shed comes from the word shad, and it's the ancient Mendic word for vagina. The woman was the original protector.
Y'all tell me what y'all think about that.
Picture this. Imagine being a large grocery chain, such as Kroger, and having to possibly fire the entire promotional department. And why do I say that? Because, they run commercials and ads all across the TV with what's on sale. Well, this week's special of meat might have you rethinking shopping at one of their grocery stores. You haven't seen this viral video? Take a look at this. Check this out.
Kroger put out a TV ad. Watch this.
Watch carefully. Pay attention to the meat.
You can save big in every aisle at Kroger. Right now, USDA choice food and ribeye.
Are those bugs? Crawling across that meat?
What the hell just crawled across that meat?
I can't believe it. If you look.
Watch. Look at them.
Right there.
Ribeye roasts are only.
How did they miss that?
How exactly do you miss something that obvious while recording meat? Bugs crawling across the meat. Have one more look at this clip again.
So Kroger put out a TV ad. Watch this.
You can save big in every aisle at Kroger. Right now, USDA choice food and ribeye.
Are those bugs? Crawling across that meat?
This is ridiculous. I can't
believe it. If you look right there.
Ribeye roasts are only.
How did they miss that?
So if you have a Kroger supermarket chain in your local viewing area, Keep an eye out for that commercial. Let me know if you see the same thing. But at the same time, what are your thoughts on this? The entire marketing team fired? I say so. Let me know your thoughts on this, and will you go shop and get that meat deal that they just showed on that ad? And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
I used to work at Kroger's. It was like one of my first jobs as a teenager. I was a cashier, and I used to be so disgusted when I had to scan meat. I love the people that put their meat in the bags. I'm an avid person for putting any type of like anything like that. I like the bags, the little bags that you do the produce in. It's so much needed, but it used to be so disgusting. I would literally shut my line down when somebody didn't have it in the bag and the blood and stuff came out, and I would literally like sanitize and wipe my whole entire line down. But Kroger's out of line for that, and they should be shamed.
Do y'all see how many kids have lost their life to senseless gun violence in 2026? You have a mass shooting in Shreveport, Louisiana. 10 people were shot. 8 of those 10 people are pronounced dead. And 8 of those 10 people are children, not grown-ups, not gang members, kids, babies. Police say around 6 in the morning, a man went house to house, multiple locations, and opened fire. 8 kids between the age of 1 and 14 are dead and gone. Let that sit with you for a second. 1 kid had to jump off a roof just to survive. 2 women were severely wounded and somehow still survived. And here's the part that is different. This wasn't random. Reports are saying that this was domestic, meaning that this wasn't a stranger. They're saying that some of the children that died were the gunman's descendants. You hear how sick that sounds? And after those soul-crushing shooting situations, he hijacked the car and tried to get away. The police chased him down and they end up taking his life. So now you got a situation where the only person that knows why this happened is gone. 8 children, families destroyed, and you gotta ask yourself, what kind of anger, what kind of darkness would make somebody do this? Because that wasn't just violence. That was something deeper. This is a sad day for the United States of America. Shit like this should not be happening. I'm out.
First of all, rest in peace to those children. And my thoughts, my heart, and my prayers and everything go out to that family. Mental illness is real, and I really don't have anything else to say. That just takes it all. Oh my God.
New tonight, a McAllister mom is fighting for her life after a brutal animal attack, leaving her husband and 2 young daughters in a tough position.
Alicia Maxey was found severely injured Sunday morning. On top of that, her husband Wallace is on dialysis and waiting for a kidney transplant. Fox 23's Paige Orr joins us live in studio. Paige, you talked to the family and to investigators.
That's right, guys. Investigators originally thought that a dog was responsible, but the Pittsburgh County Sheriff's Office is now working with wildlife experts to identify the animal. As they search for answers, Alicia's family is struggling to stay afloat without their sole breadwinner and without a vehicle to get Wallace to his life-saving treatments.
In a remote yard in Blanco, Oklahoma, Alicia Maxey was ambushed before she could even reach the front door of a home where she was hoping to find work.
She heard a deep growl. She said she could remember this growl. And she turned to run back to the truck, and something just pounced on her and knocked her to the ground. And she says it was dog-like, is what she described, but she didn't say it was certainly a dog.
Alicia was airlifted to Ascension St. John in Tulsa with gruesome injuries to her face, arms, and legs. For her husband, Wallace, the first sight of his wife in the ICU was beyond anything he expected.
Whenever I first walked in here, I wasn't expecting to see this. I was thinking more of like a dog chewed up on her leg or bites on her arm or something. I wasn't expecting this. But when I first walked in and I seen her, I broke down and started crying.
I'm in too much pain to say anything right now.
While Alicia
This video is for entertainment purposes only. So recently there's been this whole scuttlebutt, and I actually did a show on this, about a dog man incident in Oklahoma. So the details are very sketchy, so what else is new? I will tell you this, shape-shifting is real. First Nation people, medicine men, I've talked to them. I've talked to Chief Joseph Riverwind. I talked to Jimmy Head City. I've talked to other First Nation people. It is a reality. They take on the power, the dark power, and they can shapeshift into another being. Usually it's a dog man, but it can be also a crow. You know, it's interesting that the remake of a Lone Ranger took something which in my childhood was sacrosanct and completely trashed it in every way possible. Because that's what they do. That's what they do. They don't like things that are wholesome and good. In fact, if I use those words, some of you have no idea what I'm talking about. I am Elia Marzulli.
So what would y'all do if y'all see a dog man or, you know, somebody you know or love get attacked by a dog man? What in the hell? That's the back of the seat. What in the hell is going on, dog man? Oh my goodness. This is too much. This is too much going on. So you guys, we reached the end of the video. It was long. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys on the next video. I have to go. My daughter has therapy today, but I love you guys so much. This was a lot. Beware of dog man. And I will see you guys on the next video. But until I see you guys again, bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.